What if I told you the biggest lie you've ever believed is that you need society's approval to matter? Think about it. From the time you were a child, you were told, be good, follow the rules, don't upset anyone. And if you did, maybe you got a gold star, or maybe you were ignored. That's how the trap was built. But here's the truth most people never face. Society's approval is a scam. It's designed to keep you obedient, insecure, and endlessly performing for an audience that isn't even watching. Let me ask you this. How many times have you made a choice just because you were scared of what people might say? How often do you check your phone for likes, secretly hoping the world will tell you you're good enough? If that hit you, keep watching. Because once you see through this lie, you'll never beg for approval again. The harsh reality is this: you will never find lasting fulfillment in meeting society's expectations. Why? Because those expectations are inconsistent, superficial, and constantly shifting. Today, society celebrates independence, tomorrow, obedience. Today it glorifies hustle culture, tomorrow it praises work-life balance. Beauty standards are even more absurd. Marilyn Monroe's curves were once the ideal. Then came heroin chic in the 90s. Now we live in an era of hyper-surgical, filtered bodies sold as natural. You can destroy yourself chasing these illusions, and by the time you arrive, the standard has already changed. One study by the American Psychological Association showed that constant comparison to shifting cultural ideals correlates strongly with anxiety, depression, and even eating disorders. Imagine this. You are destroying your body, your peace of mind, your authenticity, all to meet a standard that was designed not to be met. Why? So corporations can sell you the next product that promises to fix you. Society profits from your insecurity. The need for validation runs deep because it's wired into our biology. Research published in Science revealed that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. That's why criticism feels like being stabbed. It's not in your head, it's in your nervous system. But this primal fear of rejection, once useful in tribal survival, is now weaponized. Social media has become the most efficient approval trap in history. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook reward you with dopamine hits for likes and comments, training your brain like a lab rat pressing a lever for food. A 2024 Pew Research Center study found that 59% of teens feel immense pressure to present themselves online for approval. And here's the catch: that approval is fake, fleeting, and addictive. The dopamine rush fades in minutes, leaving emptiness that demands more likes, more followers, more performance. The more you seek approval, the more powerless you become. Caring too much about what others think doesn't just make you insecure. It destroys you. It makes you second-guess decisions, suppress your true self, and perform instead of live. Over time, it erodes self-esteem until you don't even know what you want anymore. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that people who prioritize external validation over inner motivation report significantly higher stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. In other words, the more you live for society's approval, the less alive you feel. And here is the most shocking part. Most people aren't even thinking about you. The strangers whose opinions you obsess over are themselves drowning in their own insecurities, scrolling through feeds, trying to survive their own storms. You live as a prisoner of an audience that doesn't exist. When you make society's approval your compass, you lose yourself. You choose careers, relationships, and lifestyles to impress others, not to fulfill your own values. You suppress passions because they don't fit the script. You conform to trends instead of creating your own path. This is why so many people, even successful ones, feel empty. They've built lives on borrowed dreams. They wake up with money, status, or admiration, but none of it feels real because it wasn't theirs to begin with. The cost of chasing approval is authenticity. And without authenticity, there is no fulfillment. Let's be brutally honest, society's approval is engineered. The beauty industry, worth over $500 billion, thrives on telling you you're not good enough. The fashion industry ensures trends change every season, so you never feel complete. Social media platforms profit directly from your insecurity. The longer you scroll, the more money they make. A 2021 report by the Royal Society for Public Health linked Instagram to increased anxiety, body image issues, and depression among young people. Why? Because when people feel unworthy, they consume more. More content, more products, more validation. Your pain is profitable. Here's a hard pill to swallow. Most people's opinions are worthless. They are projections of their own fears, wounds, and failures. When someone criticizes you, they're often just revealing what they can't accept about themselves. Carl Jung called this projection. What we reject in ourselves, we attack in others. So when you shape your life around pleasing others, you're not even living for their truth, you're living for their shadows. How to break free? The first step is brutal but necessary. Expose the lie. Society's approval is not love. It is not safety. It is not success. It is a trap designed to keep you insecure, compliant, and endlessly performing for others. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how many decisions in my life have I made just to look good to someone else? A career choice? A relationship? Even the way you dress in the morning? Until you see how deep the lie runs, you'll keep feeding it without knowing. Next, you must define your own values. Strip away the noise. Forget what your parents told you was respectable. Forget what Instagram tells you is success. Forget what your friends expect from you. Ask yourself the most dangerous and liberating question: what truly matters to me? Not to society, not to family, not to friends, to me. Most people never dare to answer this honestly, and that's why they stay trapped. Will you? Then practice self-compassion. And I don't mean cheesy affirmations. I mean treating yourself with the same patience and forgiveness you'd give a child you love. When you stumble, instead of crucifying yourself, remind yourself, I am human. Mistakes are part of growth. Dr. Kristin Neff's research proves this. Self-compassion builds resilience and starves the need for outside approval. So tell me, are you kinder to strangers than to yourself? If yes, that must end now. You also need to limit toxic inputs. Look at your environment. Who do you follow online? Who do you allow into your circle? How much of your attention is being stolen by people who thrive on tearing you down? Social media is engineered to amplify your insecurity. So why keep drinking poison every day? Curate your feed. Cut the noise. And maybe dare to ask yourself, what would my life feel like if I didn't check likes at all? Then comes the most terrifying step: reclaim authenticity. Do one thing every single day that aligns with your deepest self, even if it disappoints others. Especially if it disappoints others. Wear the clothes that feel like you. Say the truth you've been biting back. Pursue the dream that others mock. Every act of authenticity weakens the cage of approval. Tell me honestly, when was the last time you lived for you instead of performing for someone else? Finally, remember this: the audience illusion. You think people are watching you, judging you, whispering about your flaws. They're not. They're too busy obsessing over their own insecurities. That spotlight you think is on you, it's an illusion. Once you realize this, the weight of 1,000 imaginary judges disappears. Think about how much freer you'd be if you truly believed that no one was watching. When you stop chasing approval, you unlock a freedom that feels almost dangerous. You take risks without fear of ridicule. You pursue passions unapologetically. You no longer wait for permission. And here's the ultimate irony. The moment you stop begging for approval is the moment you command true respect. Because people respect authenticity. They respect those who live aligned with their truth. The happiness, worth, and power you've been searching for outside has been within you all along. Approval is the cage. Authenticity is the key.